My name is Danielle Bass, Pro Tem Chair of this Mililani Neighborhood Board. It is Wednesday, August 28th, 2024. Welcome to our August regular meeting. With that, please stand so that we can offer the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Thank you, everyone, for making it here tonight, both in person and online. Just wanted to remind everyone of the public notice of this meeting. This agenda was posted 7 days prior to tonight's meeting pursuant to the Sunshine Law, Hawaii Revised Statutes, Chapter, what is it, 72, right? 92, thank you. Okay. 92. And out of respect for everyone, both online and here in person, and our board members, please raise your hand to be recognized when we get into the discussion and conversations. When I do ask, are there any questions of the board members and members of the audience, please raise your hand because I'm going to be paneling to my right, to my left, to the audience, as well as online to make sure that everyone is heard tonight. We have an action-packed agenda, so the goal of the chair is to get or finish this agenda by 10 p.m., if not sooner. That is the public notice for tonight's meeting. With that, I turn it over to Rachel for roll call and to establish quorum. Thank you.
Okay. When I call your name, please let me know if you're present in person or attending virtually. Ed Flores?
Here.
Present. Josie Kaneohe? Kanehe? Sorry. Okay, we'll come back to her. Kurumi? Dennis? Present. Merlin Lee? Here. Alex Ozawa? Mary Smart?
Present.
Present, thank you. Leslie Among?
Present.
Anne Freed? Ashley Trotter? Okay, and then Sharon Williams?
Present online.
Elise Kamadi? And then I see Kurumi, she responded. Okay. Then Ronnie Park.
Present, virtual.
You. Tasha Lee.
Present virtual.
You. Sabrina.
Present online.
And then Skylar Ross. Present. Then Michael Dahl.
Present.
Thank you. Trevor Nagamiri.
Here.
Here. And email.
Present.
And then Martina.
Present online.
Thank you. And then Catherine.
Here.
Present. And then Daniel Bass.
Present.
Thank you. So I counted 18 members present, but I'll
Excuse me. Anne Freed, present online.
Anne Freed. Okay, I'll count you in. Thank you. That's 19 members.
Wonderful. Thank you. That establishes quorum. Okay, we'll go right into monthly reports. Is the Honolulu Fire Department here tonight or online? Okay, seeing none, we'll move right on to HPD. I see that Lieutenant Bisa is here. Welcome.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry, the mic isn't working, so I'm gonna switch it out. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, calls for service for your part of the neighborhood board, 698 for the month of August, 3 assaults and 2 burglaries, 3 car break-ins, no robberies to report this from the beginning of the month. I'll take any questions.
Thank you.
Yes.
Members of the board, are there any questions for HPD at this time? Member Ross.
Question, if we find people illegally dumping somewhere, is that an HPD issue? But if it's on federal land, does it still fall under your issue, or is it under whoever's federal land is owned by it?
Yeah, federal is different. State is different. HPD does sit in County of Honolulu.
Okay,
It's
so
our jurisdiction.
So because on Cam Highway going down the hill, right, coming back up, going back towards Waipio, on the right-hand side, the Army owns that entire area right there. And their gate going down, which they just changed out, is now being used for illegal dumping, and it's getting a rather large size.
Mhm.
Is that something that HPD can respond to, or is that something that we would have to just wait for the state to get with the Army or however that jurisdiction is?
Right, yeah, that's a different jurisdiction. So
Thank you.
you can always call HPD, but we'll probably hunt that one to them. Yeah, if anything, we can let them know. We can let our community policing team know, and then maybe they can get in touch with them. Yeah. Thank
I'll
you.
note that we have a representative from the Army here tonight, so perhaps
Oh,
in the
even
next agenda item that can be discussed. Members, are there any other questions for HPD? Member Smart?
On Holania Lee Street, the street just below Safeway, we've had a lot of large construction or huge vehicles being parked, commercial vehicles. One's been in the same place for over 2 weeks. I keep trying to remember to call, but it'd be nice if, the police went through there once in a while, because people are supposed to move their commercial vehicles, and they moved it one time to across the street, but for the last 2 weeks, it's just sat there. And then other big trucks have been following suit. So it'd be nice if you go through that,
Okay.
check that area once in a while.
Sure, I'll pass the message.
Number two, how is the recruiting going to fill the vacancies in HPD? There were many 400 vacancies in your staff. How's that recruitment going? You have a lot of projects to bring on new people. I was just wondering if there's progress.
Right, I can't tell you the answer to that question. It's a good question, though. We would like to have as many people come on board as possible, but and we do have active recruiting going on. But I can't tell you the progress of each class, because it goes by, they do testing for each class, and it goes by how many ever passes. Then they move on. There's so many layers of that they have to go through. So I can't tell you. Yeah, we try to fill about 3 to 4 classes a year, though.
Members, any other questions? Member Kim?
Real quick question. Who's responsible for the road going from Kauka Boulevard to Mililani Mortuary? Is that state, federal, or who's responsible for that?
Parts of that is state, but most of it is city and county.
City and county.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Any final questions from board members? Final question from member Severchina before we open it up to the public. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a simple question. What happened to my friend? Somebody stole her license, the registration sticker. And somebody called police, and they called tow truck to tow the car. Is that normal procedure? Calling tow truck on cars which are without the current sticker?
I can't tell you, but based on what you're telling me, that is not normal. So
Okay.
if a car gets towed, it's probably going to be for expired tax, expired safety, traffic hazard, right?
So it could be.
So if the car is, whether or not the sticker got stolen, if the car is expired, it can get towed.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's normal. Okay, thank you.
Are there any members of the public who have any questions for the Honolulu Police Department? Don't be shy. Are there any individuals online? Please raise your hand. Okay, seeing none, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Without further ado, I see that we have a representative from Combat Aviation Brigade.
Yes.
All right, welcome.
Hi, so I'm Lieutenant Block. I'm with the 25th Combat Aviation Brigade. So each brigade is assigned a different neighborhood district. I'm assigned this one. Actually, my fiance and I are moving into a place in Waikele, so it is kind of local to us. I just have a couple points for the neighborhood. The September job fair that just passed. Problem with this is at the end of the month, and we get these talking points at the beginning of the month. So I'm gonna kind of lean forward from now on and send to the board these talking points so that if there's something pertinent for next month, it can be put out well before this meeting. The training advisory is also irrelevant by now, right? Because the month is almost over. The big thing I want to hit on here is that I'm going to read it word for word. 25th Infantry Division will execute JPMRC 2501 training exercise in coordination with the Joint Pacific Multinational Readiness Center, the 196th Infantry Brigade, from late September to mid-October 2024. The initial forecast is for about 1,000 multinational participants that will be expected from Malaysia, New Zealand, Indonesia, Thailand, the UK, Japan, Singapore, the Maldives, Australia, and Canada, which is an increase from last year. Please be aware there will be an increase in traffic and noise. More details will follow in September, which I won't see you all until it starts again. So I'll definitely get this information out quicker before this meeting. And the Army will share as much information as possible to keep the community informed. As a reminder, the number for the community concern line is 808-787-1523. And that's an open line you can call with any kind of community feedback that you have in regards to noise complaints or traffic complaints, anything that you have a concern with regarding the Army. And we would like to thank the community for their understanding and patience. Specific to JPMRC, I have 4 handouts that I'll hand to the board director, and those can be copied and distributed. And those have a breakdown of the why behind JPMRC and a little bit more about what to expect moving forward with the exercise.
Thank you, Lieutenant Block. Members, are there any questions for the U.S. Army? Member Ross.
I don't know if you heard, but so on the way from Mililani down the hill, coming back up on Cam Highway, as you're going back towards Waikele, when you're trying to find that new home, and you turn right we go to Waikele. On the right-hand side is all Army, right? So you guys have reinstalled a brand new gate there. In front, it used to be much higher up and closer to Cam Highway, but now it's pushed way far back, and there's a lot of illegal dumping in front of it. And then also in that general area, I don't know if your predecessor told you, is where we also had homeless people moving in on the backside and would live off the camp on that side as well. I have seen an increased amount of people walking up and down Kamehameha Highway. I don't know if it's for another reason or not, but I don't know if the homeless encampment is back or not. So if possible, by next meeting, if you could just follow up with us and let us know whether or not you guys are going to be doing something about the illegal dumping, and if or not you guys have checked the area to make sure that no other people have gone in there, because it's a restricted area for you.
Sure. So can you get me those or that concern in writing, and I'll push it to U.S. Army Garrison? They'd be able to address that. Not specifically my unit. I'd have to go through them.
Okay. Just give me your information so I
Sure.
can email.
I'll write your email or my email down.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Any further questions from members? Yes, Member Among.
Is there any way you can get us your helicopter reconnaissance flight schedule?
Yeah, there'll be a flight schedule published for JPMRC that should give the community kind of what to expect as far as the flights go.
Sometimes some of the residents are saying that the helicopters are flying around, some even late at night.
Yeah, I read the recent report that said it was around 3 a.m. that they were buzzing over houses.
Yes, so people was just wanted to know when, and they would give a heads up for the people in the community.
Right. They're supposed to publish noise advisories via the Garrison Facebook page and the Garrison email distro. That one particular you're talking about, that was not communicated prior.
Yeah.
So definitely acknowledge that was an issue. Moving forward, we'll always do our best to distribute the flight schedules and what to expect. As long as the pilots stick to their flight plans, they should really never be flying over neighborhoods, especially in the middle of the night, right? So if something like that's happening, I would guess they're going off plan, which is hard to predict.
If we
But
could get some of those schedules, it'd be helpful.
Yeah,
For
definitely.
people in the community.
Sure.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
yeah, of course.
Any further questions from board members? Okay, members of the public, any questions for the United States Army at this time? Seeing and hearing none, thank you so much.
Thank you.
The open house may be almost done. We are just starting, folks. Okay, I'd like to recognize Board of Water Supply, but I did receive communication from BWS that their representative Kathleen Pahinui is unavailable tonight. So we will move on into filling the vacancy for Subdistrict 3. Members, we have had a vacancy for the subdistrict for the past 2 months. And this area represents a part of Mililani west of Kamehameha Highway. So when you're going Safeway side, so Kamehameha Highway in between Meheula Parkway all the way down to the Maka PPP area. So between, if you live between Meheula Parkway and Kamehameha Highway, all the way down to Mari's Garden and Maka PPP, this is that sub-district that is vacant. At this time, please raise your hand if you are interested in filling that sub-district vacancy. Sir, okay. Are there any other individuals interested in filling that sub-district vacancy? Please raise your hand. Okay. Sir, why don't you approach our microphone here, introduce yourself to the board.
Good evening. My name is Rudy Rana. I live right by District Park. I've lived in the neighborhood for, I don't know, about 21 years now. Work up in Schofield. And so, but any questions?
I don't think we have many questions. Okay, seeing that there are no other individuals who would like to fill this vacancy, Rachel, would you like to verify the individual's address first?
Yeah, we'll do the address first, just in case, sir.
Okay, would you like me to recess or shall I proceed?
You can do a quick recess.
Okay, quick recess to validate your address. Thank you. We're in recess.
Just got done making this open house, went to all of the classes, met all of it.
Just do that side. Feel like everybody ran away. Okay, and we're going to reconvene our regular meeting agenda. Thank you, Rachel, for validating Mr. Rana's address in Subdistrict 3. With that, members, we have, this is a no contest appointment, so I will go ahead and make a motion for Mr. Rana to be considered to fill this vacancy. Is there a second to this motion?
Second.
Okay, so moved, and it is a roll call vote, if I'm correct. Okay.
Yes.
So turning it over to Rachel for roll call vote on this filling of the vacancy.
Okay, so when I call your name, please state the name of the person. I know it's only one person, but we still have to state that. Okay, so Flores,
Yes.
Rana, okay, got it. Josie, Kurumi, Dennis, Marilyn Lee, or Rana, okay. Rana, thank you. Alex, Rana, Mary Smart,
Rana.
Rana, Leslie.
Yeah.
Rana, okay. Anne,
Yes.
yes, okay. And
Yes, for Rana, right, Anne?
I hope you guys out.
This is a new rule, a procedure for NCO, so we need to say yes, Rana, or no, somebody else, but you have to say the last name now. So just say the name.
Okay, and then I saw someone message. Let me see. Who's that? Oh, Josie. Okay, so she got it. Okay. And then Ashley? Sharon?
Yes, Rana.
Thank you. Elise?
Yes, Rana.
Thank you. Rodney?
Rana.
You? Tasha Lee?
Yes, Rana.
You? And Sabrina?
Yes, Rana.
Skylar?
Yes, Rana.
Okay. Michael?
Yes, Rana.
Trevor?
Rana.
Anna, thank you. Emil?
Yes, Rana.
Then Martina?
Yes, Rana. Yes, Rana.
Catherine?
Yes, Rana.
Okay, and then Danielle.
Rana.
Thank you. Okay, let me count this. Okay, with that, that's 18 board members voting for Rana. So he is on the board after I have him sign the oath of office.
Okay, so is that now?
So I can send, I have the forms with me, so I can have him review it, sign it. Once he finalizes, signing it, he can sit with the board.
Great. Okay, congratulations, Mr. Rana. Thank you for joining our board. We have a full board again. Why don't you go ahead, see Rachel. We'll be going into the election of officers, and I believe you get the special hot seat next to me. All right. Okay. Members, we're gonna go, well, poor Rachel's gonna be doing a lot of work right now. We're gonna go into the election of officers and confirmation of board details. Members, as you recall, every July starts a new term for us, right? And so when we procedurally actually recess every July, so we have to take up board officers and we have to reconvene meeting times, locations, et cetera, format, recess schedules and rules on our very first meeting in the new term, and that is today. So with that, for the term to serve from Monday, July 1st, 2024 to Monday, June 30th, 2025, are there any officers who would like to be, are there any individuals who would like, members of this board who would like to be nominated as chair of this board at this time?
I recommend Danielle Bass.
Are there any other individuals? It's a really fun job, folks. You don't get compensated for it. Sure? Okay. I accept the nomination. Thank you. There are no other individuals who would like to serve as chair. Okay. Nominations are closed. Rachel, would you like to go into the vote for chair at this time? Okay. So we're going to do another roll call vote for the chair position. Again, members, for roll call votes, we need to say the member's name for clarification. Over to you, Rachel.
Okay, let me find my paper that I had. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we have Chair Bass that we're voting for. So when I call your name, please state the name. And then Ed Flores. Thank you for Danielle. And Josie.
Yes, Daniel Bass.
You. Kurumi. Okay. And then Dennis. For Bass. Okay. Marilyn Lee. Bass. Alex. Bass. Mary Smart.
Bass.
Bass. Then Leslie. Oh, not here. Okay. And then Anne,
Bess.
you, Ashley, Sharon,
Bass.
Elise,
Yes, Bass.
okay, Rodney,
Yes, Bass.
okay, Tarsha Lee,
Yes, Bass.
Sabrina,
Yes, Bass.
Skylar, okay, and then Michael,
Yes, Bass.
and then Trevor,
Bass.
Emil,
Yes, boss.
Martina,
Yes, Bass.
and Catherine,
Yes, Bass.
and then Daniel Bass.
Yes,
Yes.
Bass.
Okay, so with that, we have 19 members, and then you are still the chair.
Thank
Congrats.
you. Okay, I know everybody wants to do the real fun stuff like the parks. I'm so sorry, folks, but we really got to just make sure we have this board put together with officers. So that's why you just see me chugging along. Next, we have vice chair. Are there any individuals of this neighborhood board who would like to serve as vice chair for the upcoming term?
I recommend Trevor Nagamine.
Okay, are there any other individual? Oh, Trevor, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I accept the nomination.
Okay, thank you. And are there any other individuals who would like to serve as vice chair of this neighborhood board at this time? Or be considered? Okay, I am closing the nomination and over to you, Rachel.
So voting for Trevor, when I call your name, please state the name. Okay, Flores, Trevor, okay, Josie, Rumi,
Trevor.
or Trevor. Okay, got you. Dennis, Trevor, Marilyn Lee, thank you. Alex, Trevor, very smart.
Yes, Nagamini.
Leslie,
Yes.
voting for Trevor. Anne,
Yes, Trevor.
Trevor.
Ashley, Sharon,
Yes, Nagamine.
thank you. Elise,
Yes, Nagamine.
Rodney,
Yes, Nagamine.
Tarsha Lee,
Yes, Nagamine.
Sabrina,
Yes, Nagamini.
okay, I got you, thank you. And then Skylar,
Yes, Nagamine.
Michael,
Yes, Nagamine.
and then Trevor, you accept yourself?
Nagamine.
Thank you. Emil,
Yes, Nagamina.
Martina,
Yes, Nagamine.
Catherine,
Yes, Trevor.
and then Daniel.
Nagamine.
Thank you. Okay, with that, I have 20 board members for Trevor. Thank you.
Congratulations. Okay, we're going to move on to board secretary. Are there any board members at this time who would like to be nominated for board secretary? I'd like to nominate Sabrina Gustafson. I've found she's done a very good job as board secretary. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trevor. Sabrina, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I accept.
Okay. Are there any other members who would like to serve or be nominated for secretary at this time? Okay. Nominations are closed. Over to you, Rachel, for the vote.
Okay, so for secretary, please state the name when I call you. Ed?
Sabrina Gustafson.
Thank you. Josie?
Yes, for Gustafson.
Okay. Harumi? And then Dennis? Sabrina? Okay. Marilyn Lee? Thank you. Alex? Sabrina? Mary?
Yes, Gustafson.
Thank you. Leslie? Sabrina? Okay. Anne?
Sabrina.
Thank you. Ashley? Sharon?
Yes, Sabrina.
Thank you. Elise?
Yes, Gustafson.
Rodney?
Yes, Gustafson.
Charlie,
Yes, Gustafson.
and Sabrina, do you accept it?
Yes.
Thank you. Skylar? Thank you. Michael?
Yes, Gustafson.
Trevor?
Gustafson.
Email?
Yes, Gustafson.
Mark?
Yes, Gustafson.
Catherine?
Yes, Sabrina.
Danielle?
Sabrina.
Okay, so with that, we have 20 board members voting for Sabrina.
Congratulations, Sabrina. Great job. Okay, we're going to move on to board treasurer. It's a role in which you manage no money that is not appropriated to the neighborhood board. So don't worry about it. All right. Are there any individuals of the neighborhood board who would like to serve as treasurer at this time? I would like to nominate Josie Ka'anehe, who's done a great job serving as the treasurer, overseeing no funds. Is there a second? Okay. Josie, would you like to accept the nomination?
Chair Bass, talking to the council, they said that the position is actually done away with, hence no money is being held or no paperwork is given to me. I don't know, is Lloyd there that he could answer that question?
Okay. Hi, Josie. It's Rachel. So what we're doing is that we're gonna follow the neighborhood plans since that's what we're following. We're still gonna keep the position of the treasurer, but although like there's no funds to, handle with or paperwork, the role of the treasurer is only if the chair, vice chair, and secretary isn't present, then the treasurer can jump in to, help with the board.
Yeah, I understand. With all due respect, the person that worked before you, he's the one that
Mhm.
told me that. So if it's still gonna be there, then that's fine. Yes, thank you.
Okay, yes, yeah, it'll be there because I actually had a conversation with my department too about that as well. Thank you.
Okay, so Josie has accepted that nomination. Are there any other members of the board who would like to serve as treasurer of the neighborhood board? Leslie, okay, you're nominating yourself? You're nominating yourself? Oh, Josie accepted. No, Josie accepted. Are you challenging? Okay, okay. Are there any other members who would like to be nominated? Seeing, hearing none, nominations are closed. And we're going to kick it over to Rachel again for the roll call vote for Josie Ka'anehe as treasurer.
Okay, so let's start off with Ed, Josie,
So. Yes, Ka'anehe.
wait, thank you. Then Kurumi, Dennis, Josie, and then Marilyn for Josie, okay. Alex for Josie, Mary Smart,
Yes, Kahanehi.
thank you. Then Leslie,
Kahane.
Anne,
Josie.
Ashley, Sharon,
Yes, Ka'anehe.
Elise,
Yes, Ka'anehe.
Rodney,
Yes, Ka'anehe.
Sasha Lee,
Yes, Ka'anehe.
Sabrina,
Yes, Ka'anehe.
Skylar, Michael,
Yes, Ka'anehe.
Trevor,
Ka'anehe.
Emil,
Yes, Ka'anehe.
Martina,
Yes, Ka'anehe.
Catherine,
Yeah, Josie.
okay, and then Danielle.
Josie.
Okay, with that, we have 21 board members voting for Josie for treasurer.
Okay, sounds great. And maybe in one of these meetings, the chair and the vice chair and the secretary doesn't show up and Josie's got to do it. She's not here. She's probably laughing online. Okay. All right, she will do a fine job. Okay, folks, we have an action-packed agenda, so noting that, I note that we have B, C, and D. I would like to move to defer these issues to follow the reports of chairs and board committees on this same agenda.
I second.
Thank you. There's no vote on that. Okay, we're gonna go into approval of meeting minutes. Secretary Gustafson, would you like to move? Would you like to make the motion for the two meeting minutes for Thursday, May 30th, 2024 and Tuesday, June 18th?
Yes, the first meeting that needs review is the special meeting we had on May 30th. Short and sweet. There was just one question there about changing the House district, so that should be pretty easy. And then the second one was the joint meeting that we had on June 18th with the Malkud board. This was a very simple meeting. As you know, none of the meeting minutes include the candidate forum that happened. It's just the business that happened prior to the forum, and a couple of questions that came in from both sides. I move to accept both the special meeting minutes and the joint meeting minutes.
Okay, any discussion for Thursday, May 30th meeting minutes, members? Hearing none. Are there, sorry, excuse me. Rachel, did you want people to raise their hands online for the vote?
So to make it easier for the minutes, if there's no amendments that anybody wants to make, then they can be approved as is, as written.
Okay, all right, so approved, no discussion on Thursday, May 30th. Is there any discussion on June 18th meeting minutes, members? Hearing and seeing none, the minutes are approved. Okay, we're gonna move on to presentations. The moment everybody's, I'd like to welcome and recognize Danielle Castro from Mililani High School. Please step up to the microphone to share an update about the Mililani High School homecoming parade route.
Hi, everybody. I'm passing out the homecoming parade handout, and then I'll leave some of the extras at the table. Sorry for my tardiness. We had open house tonight. Just want to go over this year's homecoming parade. So we're following the same route as we have in years past. The date is September 14th, and we are starting at 9 a.m. This launches our homecoming festivities. The football game, the homecoming game, will be the following Saturday, the 21st, against Waipio. So we're presenting the information to you guys to collect any feedback, especially if you attended or watched last year's parade, that we can take back with us to improve this year's parade. Making sure that the board and everybody's informed and good with us having our annual homecoming parade. And then if there's any questions, I'll take questions.
Thank you, Danielle. Members, are there any questions for Mililani High School?
Or feedback or anything.
Please raise your hands. I see Sabrina has a question. Go ahead.
Yes, last year for the anniversary, I believe Principal Murphy said that you guys were going to be having your gala annually, and I didn't see anything come out about that. Has that been revised?
We didn't have a gala last year. Yeah, we only did it the anniversary year. So I don't know if we're going to continue that or what we have planned next.
Any other questions for Mililani High School? Any questions from the public and audience? Questions for Mililani High School? All right.
So our homecoming theme this year is called Trojans on Tour. It's a music-inspired theme.
All genres of music?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions for Mililani High School? Seeing none, thank you so much, Danielle.
Thank you guys for your time.
Okay, next up, Ashley, who would like to provide an update regarding our board's action on Mililani District Park's skate park. Members, as you recall, we passed a resolution in April regarding this matter, and Ashley Ohio was there helping us and helping the city council. So we look forward to hearing your update.
Hi, everybody. So I just wanted to give an exciting update on the skate park lights at Mililani District Park. So the work is expected to begin on September 10th, September 20th, as long as there's no delays. While the work is being done, the skate park will be closed to the public from September 9th through September 21st. Right now, we are anticipating the first night of lights at the skate park to be on October 1st. The skate park lights will follow the tennis court light schedule, which depending on the season, goes on around 5 o'clock p.m. or 6 o'clock p.m., and they shut off at 10 p.m. This is a community-driven project with our keiki at the forefront, so it's really special for us. The skateboarding community is really excited and can't wait for a safely lit place that's designated for skateboarding to skate when the sun goes down. Thank you guys for your support.
Now, members, if you recall, we did pass that resolution and we worked with the skateboarding community, and Council Member Valo Kimoto also passed a resolution with the City Council to accept a gift from Mililani business, A1A Electrical, and that is a $20,000 gift in terms of materials and labor for the Mililani District Park. And, you know, this is what I think is the best part of it. It was like 4 months, right? Have you ever heard government work that fast? So no, thank you thank you, Ashley, for helping the community this way. Thank you, board members. Thank you, council member. And thank you to the Department of Department of Parks and Recreation, as well as the mayor, since I know that this is important to him as well. Are there any questions regarding the skate park lights and their closure, the temporary closure in September? Any questions? None. Congratulations, Ashley, and members of the skateboarding community. Oh, you want to take a picture? Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah, we'll take a brief recess for a photo from the mayor's office. Okay, recess. Great. Take photo.
We're doing it.
Come on, let's make it quick. We got to get out of here. Hey, Rhonda. It's skateboard. If you ride a skateboard, get in this picture. Yeah?
Yeah, you help run this meeting. Hold my breath. Hold it, come again. Oh, there we go. The model, right? And grab it quiet.
All right, that's out. Buddy. Hey, great.
So I came to work today. You get a chance to
So
clean
like
up.
we're going out. All right. We're going to reconvene this Mililani Neighborhood Board. Thank you, everyone, for that quick photo break. I think it's very important to memorialize the fact that we got lights up in less than 5 months. I think that's super cool and a real big win for government. Okay, folks, we're going to move on to new business. I'd like to give a quick update and recognize a fellow Mililani resident on Kaumaiku Neighborhood Park. Members, if you recall, in the same meeting in April, we passed a similar resolution for Kaumaiku Neighborhood Park for lighting and, supporting the improvements to Mililani's Kaumaiku Neighborhood Park outdoor inline skating facility, including roof covering, lighting, flooring for inline hockey, roller skating park users. So that was passed by our board on April 24th, 2024. And I heard from, I met with Mr. Kimo Chun, who is one of the organizers and representatives of the Hawaii Inline Hockey League here in Mililani. And we all found out together that there was that particular park, even though we passed a resolution for lighting and such, in which Councilmember Okimoto is working diligently for that as well. We did find out from HPD that they were trying to enforce the hours of that park, which are currently from dusk till dawn. So in coordination with the City Department of Parks and Recreation, I was briefed on all of the park closure hours for the Mililani area. And the entire Mililani town, this is the only park in all of our board's jurisdiction that is actually dusk till dawn closure and closure hours. In working with the Department of Parks and Recreation, the nearest park to this park, Kaumaiku Neighborhood Park, is Makaunulau, which is, otherwise known as 16 acres. That park actually closes at 8 p.m. Until 5 a.m. in this same neighborhood area. So in consultation with the Department of Parks and Recreation and HPD, they've requested that our board take an action on this to actually identify closure hours here, because dusk to dawn is actually difficult to enforce, right? I mean, you can contest that. So I have offered a resolution here before you, and it was emailed by Rachel. That resolution's entitled Supporting the Extension and Standardization of Kaumaiku Neighborhood Park Closure Hours from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. Before we take action on that resolution, I'd like to welcome Kimo Chun to the microphone to briefly explain what we're trying to do, what his hockey league is working on, and the community.
All right. Hello, everybody. Thanks for having us, and thanks for all you guys do. So real briefly, you guys know that we run the Hawaii Inline Hockey League out here in Mililani. We're growing really quick. I'd say like every 2 weeks we're getting a new youth player. No kidding, right? Just not just from Mililani, but also from around the island. Just because we're the only league offering community a cheaper league, right? There is a place in Kapolei, but it's it's double, triple the price of what we're doing. We're community based, 6 hours, 8 hours a week, all just community serving. So real quick, even till dusk till dawn, there's not much time for kids to play, not much, very little time for adults who want to continue, being active in the sport. So we're just looking to extend park hours. Originally, Danielle put on the agenda 8 p.m. We are asking 9 p.m. if possible. Most all other parks in Mililani are actually 10 p.m. So we're hoping it's not too much of an ask. Like I said, it's really just for the community. If I can give a quick example, after the kids practice, they go till about 7 p.m., 5:30 to 7. That's all the time they get for the day. My wife would throw like a mom skate after the kids practice, and that would go from 7 to 8. By the time they get cleaned up, it's 8:30, 9 o'clock kind of thing. So like I said, it's community based. We're just keeping kids healthy, keeping adults healthy, showing kids there is an afterlife to your child's sports career. that's kind of what we're doing out there. We hope you guys can support us.
Thank you, Chemo.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chemo's correct in that there's a website available on the Department of Parks and Recreation website, which actually lists all the park closure hours. If you scroll down to what they identify as District 5, Central Oahu, I would agree with Chemo that the majority are park closures are at 10 p.m. Again, the only reason why I've written 8 is just to be in conformance with Maka'unu Lau. So I'm open to that amendment if a board member would like to make that amendment in the resolution.
Ross, progress.
Well, 1 second. We're going to move in motion for this resolution. Kimo, you can say it if you'd like. I'll make a motion on the resolution before us. I'll need a second. And if someone would like to make an amendment to the resolution and all references to 8 p.m. become 9 p.m. or some other time, you may do so in that amendment. So first, I'm going to move that the resolution be adopted. Is there a second? Seconded by Member Among. Is there any discussion?
Amendment.
Okay, Member Ross would like to offer an amendment. What is your amendment, Member Ross?
To change all of 8 p.m. to 10 p.m.
10 p.m. Okay. All right. So we're in discussion of that amendment. So now that we are now considering 10 p.m. Members, would you like to have conversation on 10 p.m.? Member Smart.
Okay. I don't agree with 10 p.m. right now because I don't know the layout, how close neighbors are. And now that we have lights, if there's a whole lot of people having fun, playing games, I just think it can be a noise problem. So,
Okay.
because I don't know.
Yeah. Member Ross, thank you.
There's no lights there?
There are no lights yet. They're going to be erected.
There's going.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not
All right.
comfortable.
Okay. Any other discussion for 10 p.m.? Okay, Member Flores, followed by Member Lee.
Yes, I agree with the amendment of 10 p.m. It'll be used mostly by the community base, and I think we need to trust in them. We're all adults, and give them a chance to use the park as anybody else uses it in Mililani, just to be consistent.
Okay, Member Lee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I support the 10 p.m. closure because basically the lights are going to go off at 10 and it doesn't make any sense to have the closing before the lights go off. So that's my opinion.
Any further discussion on 10 p.m.? Actually, before we get to you, I'd like to ask if there are any other members, and I have a question for Chemo. Chemo, I have a question for you. If you can approach them. I'm going to ask a question to Chemo-chan. Chemo. Okay. In Ka'oma'aiku Neighborhood Park, I understand that the Kipapa Gulch is right behind it.
Yes.
Okay, where are the homes very close to the park?
The homes are not close to the park. It's I don't know, like 100 yards away, I would say. What do you think?
Please go ahead, introduce yourself. Yep.
Good evening. Sorry, my name is John Chan. I'm the hockey director of Hawaiian Hockey. Pretty much we run it together. To answer your question, the rink to the houses is a lot further than the skate park to the houses or Kipapa Park to their houses. There's a lot more space between our facility that we use and all these other parks that are 10 p.m. So just to give you, like I said, you haven't seen it. It's a lot further than any other park. A lot of those parks are right on houses, like the backyard of someone is Kipapa. District Park is the same way, right? There's houses right across the street. The houses are way further for us.
Okay. Are there any, while we have Chemo and John here, are there any questions for Chemo and John in discussion regarding 10 p.m.? Okay, Kimo John, you can have a seat. Any further discussion on 10 p.m.? Les, followed by Mary.
Chair.
Is the lighting,
Have Josie online. not
does the
on-
lighting have a timers on it? We're shut off at exactly at 10 o'clock.
Well, we don't have lights yet. That is
Yeah.
in the process. So we're hoping that, we get the time, and then when the lights come in, it's all in unison, essentially.
Yeah, so if the lights are, let's say they have timers, hopefully, I mean, that's what we're looking at, and it
Yeah,
turns off at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, like everyone, like all the other parks in the Milan.
Does that mean that the process of leaving and packing up and going begins earlier than at 10 o'clock in the dark? Meaning using
Park closure hours would be 10 p.m.
Right.
That would be the
So we
regulation
clean up a
by
few-
DPR.
15 minutes early to make sure we're all leaving by 10.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yep.
Little
Okay,
buffer time before that.
all right.
Exactly. Yep.
Mary, go ahead. I see Josie has a question online.
It was just, do the lights stay on until 10? That's what I didn't understand. Or are they motion detected? If you're not there, are they going to stay on? How's that working?
All the lights in Mililani are on timers normally, so they'll turn on.
So whatever time we decide on this resolution, that's when they'd go off? Or would they stay on till 10, even if we had said,
This resolution pertains to the entire park, which is their lights will be pertaining from the previous resolution in April that pertains to the hockey rink, which is a small portion of the park.
for the whole park? Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Josie, I see you have a question. You have conversation for this discussion period. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay, the parks in Mililani, if they have no light in the park, those parks close at 8 o'clock. So if this park doesn't have any lights right now, it is supposed to be 8. All parks with lights in them stay open till 10. That's how the determination of the parks work. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the amendment before us for 10 p.m.? Vice Chair.
So just to clarify, so there are no lights right now, which is why the city is recommending that we go with 8 o'clock, but there is,
No.
we are currently in process
No.
to install lights.
No, not correct. Let me clarify that for you. There are no lights, period. We made a resolution in April unanimously approving the need for lights for the hockey rink. Coincidentally, the park closes dusk till dawn. In discussion with DPR, we are conforming, this resolution I offer is to conform with Makaunulau, which is a neighboring park. I'm open to 10 p.m. I'm open to 8 p.m. I just want, my purpose behind this resolution is to assist the Department of Parks as well as the users of the parks and HPD with enforcement hours. That's it. It has nothing especially to do with lighting. This is about park closure.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
Question.
Yes, member.
So, just to clarify, when you turn in the road that's going to the park, there's one on the right, a park on the right, and then there's another one on the left. 16 acres is the one on the left. As you go through
16 acres will be the one on the right, and then
both,
They're open.
Party.
there's one park on the right when you drive in from the intersection.
Yes,
Is that 16 acres?
that's 16 acres.
And what's the one on the left? When you go further in, there's another park.
We call
That's-
it 10 acres.
That's
Yeah.
10, that's this
That's the
park
one
we're
they're trying to-
discussing right now.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
that's what I want to clarify. Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Any further discussion on the 10 p.m. amendment, members? Hold on, I'm checking if there are any other members who have any other discussion. Okay, Mary, final? Go ahead.
Okay, so the lights are only for the skating thing and parks are not for the whole park. And parks are usually closed at 8 if there's no lighting. So I'm still having trouble with the 10 p.m. because there's not going to be light. So the 10 p.m. goes for lighting for the whole park or just lighting?
The resolution we passed in April pertained to lighting for the hockey rink, not the park. Okay, so is that clear?
if I could just say, like, there's actually a lot of parks that don't have lights and they're all open till 10. Like the YMCA park, that's open till 10. The Mililani Malka parks, they're both open till 10. So not to be disagreeable, but it is
Yeah.
there are more than
Okay. Thank you, Kimo. Okay, folks, we're going to take this to the vote. I think we've had enough discussion. We're going to vote on the amendment to this resolution to extend this resolution closure hours to 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Rachel, for your purposes, would you like this roll call or do you want this by hands?
Oh, yeah, I can do hands. I can count them.
Okay, over to you.
So we're doing the amendment to have it for 10 p.m. Is that correct?
Yes, that is
Okay.
the vote.
Okay. Let me pull up my paper. Okay. So all in favor to have the amendment for 10 p.m., please raise your hand. Okay, I gotta count all of that. Looks like everybody. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, online too. Okay, let me check this. You know what? I know this is a lot. Okay. Okay, we'll do the roll call instead.
Okay. Okay, members, Rachel is requesting a roll call vote for. Go ahead, Rachel.
Okay. Start with Ed. Ed, yes. Josie.
No.
Okay. And then Kurumi.
No.
And then Kim. Marilyn Lee. Alex. Mary.
Yes.
Leslie. Anne.
Yes.
Ashley. Sharon. Okay. Elise.
Yes.
Rodney.
No.
Sasha Lee.
Yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
Skylar.
Yeah.
Okay. Rona. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Michael.
Yes.
Trevor.
Aye.
Okay. Emil.
Yes.
Martina.
Yes.
Catherine.
Yes.
Danielle.
Yes.
Okay, let me count that.
Sorry, point of clarification. We have one more board member, if I remember correctly.
I got him.
Okay.
Okay. So with that, I have 16 for yes and 3 for no. Yep, this has passed. For the amendment.
Okay.
10 p.m.
The amendment passes. We're going back to the regular resolution for consideration as amended to 10 p.m. Any further discussion regarding this newly amended resolution? From the public? Seeing and hearing none. Can we just do an affirmative vote? Rachel, why don't you go ahead?
Okay. You do the hand vote again.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do that. Okay. So all in favor, please raise your hand for this. I'm just gonna check. Okay. Okay, it's over here. And then let me check the line. That's 4. Okay.
The wonderful fun of hybrid meetings.
Okay. So I'm gonna count how many. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I do know that the motion already passed with the majority vote. So I'll do in my minutes, I'll put the amount of people.
Okay,
Fine.
no. To say the amount.
Okay, I guess if anything, proceed with the reading and I will give the count.
Okay, thank you, Rachel. The resolution passes as amended for 10 p.m. closure times to 5 a.m. Congratulations, Chemo and members. And we will, I will transmit a letter to Department of Parks and Recreation along with this resolution to inform them that we are recommending the extension of the park closure hours. Okay, we're going to move on to community concerns. At this point in time, is there a community member who would like to report of any events or concerns within the community? To comment concern within decorum, please limit your comments to 3 minutes. I see Sabrina has her hand up. Go ahead, Sabrina.
That was from the vote, sorry.
Okay, at this time, I will share a community concern our board has received. Okay, members, for those of you who haven't been receiving emails, within the past few months, about 30 or more emails have been sent to members of the neighborhood board, as well as city officials from a Mr. Tom Berg, an Eva Beach resident, who has concerns regarding the, Hawaii Country Club in Kunia. That country club, although it is physically in Kunia, is within this board's jurisdiction in Subdistrict 2. I understand. Okay, I will recite the following questions from Mr. Tom Berg, who has questions addressed to DPP's Director Apuna and the city and county. What I'd like to do with these questions is at the appropriate time during the mayor's report, those answers can come up since we're trying to keep to a tight timeline for tonight's meeting. But for the record, these questions, I will read the three. Question number 1, in 2022, HCC constructed a cement stage, cement sidewalk, cement staircases, wooden shed, and added 5 shipping containers to the property to serve an outdoor luau. These items listed above expand the floor area to cater to a non-conforming end use per chapter Hawaii Revised Statutes, chapter 205, section 8 are supposed to be removed. To date, DPP has declined to order the items be removed to bring the property into compliance. Mililani and Hawaii Prince's features were removed, but HCC's cement stage and other structures allowed without penalty or fine. Is that a case for unequal enforcement? Isn't that a case for an unequal enforcement? The city possibly exposed to a lawsuit by enforcing rules on some, but not on others. That is question number 1 to the city. Question number 2. In 2022, HCC has expended over $30,000 to install underground electrical conduits without a permit to specifically serve the outdoor luau. If the city wanted the luau to cease and get into compliance, all DPP has to do is enforce the revised ordinances of Honolulu 17-1.1 that allows for the electrical system orders inoperable until a permit is executed. Per ROH 17-1.1, the electrical system built not to code and not inspected and without a permit cannot be operable, yet DPP won't apply this mandate upon HCC with the luau revenue over $100,000 per show, 5 nights a week. The luau operators have expressed they can easily pay the $1,000 daily fine and therefore will not cease to continue to violate HRS 205-4.5 Question, why hasn't DPP followed the law and ordered the electricity inoperable, of which would put the luau in the dark and end it? That is Tom Berg's question number 2. Question number 3, the State Land Use Commission, LUC, takes violations to HRS 205 4.5 very seriously, so much so that the law requires DPP to notify the LUC of all violations per HRS 205-12. Has DPP notified the Land Use Commission of the non-conforming outdoor luau operation, operating since April 2023 with impunity? DPP comply to HRS 205-12 and report to the Land Use Commission the luau activity taking place at HCC. These are the 3 questions our board has received at the request of Eva resident Tom Berg to be brought up in community concerns. Members, I remind you that the Mililani Neighborhood Board and all neighborhood boards are advisory. We are not an enforcement agency. This is an issue a resident has with the city and county. So city and county at the appropriate time during the mayor's report, can you address those questions? Okay. Any further questions or community concerns? Yes, Dennis. I think you need a microphone.
He doesn't live here, so why is he, I mean, other than seeing what the violations are, why is he approaching us to, I mean, what is the purpose for contacting us? Yeah, I know it's in a district, but
The physical location of this
right. I
issue
understand
is
that.
in our district, but I want to stress for all board members here, we are not an enforcement agency. We're an advisory board.
Right.
Right? This is an issue that the city and county must handle. So I think we need to wait and hear what the city and county has to say.
Okay. Sure.
Any other questions or community concerns? Sir, you have a community concern? Oh, okay. Please introduce yourself for the record, and if you'd like to answer those questions and more, go ahead. When we're on a tight to 3 minutes, right? Because this is the community concern section.
All right. Thank you so much. Aloha, my name is Kiri Falatoalasi. I'm the president of the Mauka Warriors Luau on HCC land. And we proactively want to come and address the board and also the community regarding this issue. Well, TPP issue an NOV and NOO concerning Mauka Warriors Luau on the premises. Mauka Warriors Luau disagree with DPP findings and it is appealing DPP's decision. Yes. Mauka Warriors Luau is also exploring alternative venues in the event that the appeal is unsuccessful. Yes. Mauka Warriors Luau nearly 80 direct employees in support of numerous local vendors and businesses through its luau, ensuring continuity of operation that supports so many. Ensuring compliance with permitting requirements is our luau's chief concern. Yes. So we actually employ approximately 80 people, not including vendors too. So at the same time, our main concern is in compliance. And that's exactly what we're working on right now with DPP. If any attendees have any input or feedback, we'd like to offer our emails for any further questions.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other, or are there brief questions for this luau operator? Yeah, Emil, go ahead.
So are you admitting that you are operating something which is not in compliance with?
Actually, our legal counsel is actually online right now. If she can help us out to address some of the attorney Miley Miller.
Go ahead, Miley, very briefly. Thank you. We can't hear you.
Okay. Pose the question again, sir.
If you are admitting that you are not in compliance.
Hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead, Miley.
Okay, sorry, so it was a headphone issue. So no, the luau is not admitting that we're not in compliance. We disagree with the DPP's notice of violation and we're appealing it. But with that said, we recognize that there are issues and concerns. So like Kiri just explained, the Mauka Warrior luau's is still in the process of evaluating other areas to see if it's possible to move to a different location that would work for all parties.
Thank you. Just so that I'm clear, DPP did provide a notice of violation and you are appealing that?
Yeah, so to be clear, DPP, the way the procedure generally works is there's a notice of violation and then there's a further notice of order. So the notice of order comes after, and that is what is the appealable item before the Zoning Board of Appeals. And that is what the appeal is being sought, which is the notice of order, which is based off of the prior notice of violation.
Okay, thank you so much for that legal clarification, Miley.
No problem.
Are there any other brief questions, members? Yes, Member Ross?
Question for Miley. How long is the appeal process? And do you guys have an estimated date of when you guys would find a verification on when the appeal would be done?
I unfortunately cannot tell you how long the appeals process is, except for saying that it is probably longer than anybody would like. Our appeal was due today, so it was turned in. The next step is for us to have probably a scheduling conference with the Zoning Board of Appeals and the DPP, in which a schedule would be set. ZBA only meets once a month and they have a large caseload. They're also, basically a volunteer board. So when we're going to be able to be put on for position statements, briefing, and all of that, I can't say. But I will say that both paths are being explored concurrently. We're not necessarily waiting for Mauka Warrior luau's to have any sort of finality with the ZBA appeal before exploring the other options of trying to move.
Okay. Thank you, folks. This issue is not agendized, so we cannot give a large amount of time to this subject matter. The point of community concerns is really to have 3 minutes to discuss this issue and limit those comments to that time frame. We've provided a little over 3 minutes, so let's wait for the city and county to also provide an answer during the mayor's report. Are there any other issues before this that members of the community would like to raise during community concerns outside of this particular issue? Outside of this particular issue?
Just want to say, Chair, maybe
Outside of this particular issue? Yes or no?
Tracy.
Yes, direct that to the mayor's office. Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on, seeing that we have no other community concerns at this time. We are going to move on to reports of chairs, boards, and committees. Chair's report. Members, as you can tell, we've been very busy in the last 2 months during this brief recess period, as well as I'd like to make a point in terms of those emails received. They were not received to all board members, right? Unfortunately, when you email our neighborhood board, every member has an option to provide their email accounts online at the NCO's website, and that's not all available to everyone. So when you do email our neighborhood board, it is not to all 23 members. You can, of course, send it to Rachel. But when you are emailing all of our board members, keep in mind it's not going to all 23 members. Also, I've been working with the neighborhood committee, and it's really important, as you can tell, even by today's email with the resolution, You notice I don't email the neighborhood board. I actually work with the NCO's office to formally abide by sunshine law. So we don't email each other as a neighborhood board because we don't want to actually handle board business via email. That is not in accordance with sunshine. So in terms of email activities, especially regarding board business or issues before the board, I do want to just reiterate that concern with sunshine law. And so I know that there have been some members who have wondered why I haven't responded to some of these emails. And I will admit some of them have gone to my spam folder. But, you know, it isn't to be in compliance with sunshine law and to make sure that we're all, you know, not discussing board issues via email. That completes my report. Are there any questions? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move into community partnerships and community outreach. Alex.
No report other than I'm sure the pictures that we took during the recess will make a great post on our Facebook. Thank you.
All right, moving on to Josie, Community Recognition and Service Awards.
A report, thank you.
Okay, Martina for Community Maintenance and Walk Audit.
No report.
Well, it sounds like everybody had a really good summer. Member Trevor, do you have a report for Planning, Zoning, Sustainable Development, Climate Resilience Committee?
So just very briefly, so the mayor recently signed Bill 3 into law as Ordinance 24-23. So this is a bill that would provide financial incentives for constructing affordable housing on this island. Following Bill 46, this is a bill that would impose a so-called empty homes tax. So though exactly what would constitute an empty home for the purposes of this tax is still under discussion in committee at the council. That's all.
Thank you for your report. Skylar for Transportation and OMPO.
The OMPO meeting was canceled in August. We're going to have our next meeting in September. And once again, once the meeting is completed, I'll upload everything into the Google Drive so you guys can see everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Dennis, Military Affairs and Emergency Management.
Emergency manager, this might fall into his area, but has transportation of the buses been resolved?
Of the
community?
The transportation of what?
The buses.
Oh, the buses.
Scott, you have
That's a
anything
state
on that?
issue.
Thought I'd bring it up. But anyway, on the emergency side, Hurricane Hone just hit the 75 mark. That's the first hurricane in 30 years. 30 years ago, I was a battalion commander in the National Guard. I get called early in the morning, report to civil defense down in Diamond Head, and the trees that were all knocked down. This hurricane was nothing compared to what hit Kauai. So I think sometimes we're just lucky we, passed over us, but we still need to pay attention to the emergency kits and stuff like that we should have. Just a reminder.
Thank you, Dennis, for the reminder. Okay, Darsha for Health, Houselessness, and Human Services Committee.
I just wanted to give a reminder to the community about the 211 number for accessing social services. I know I did get a lot of inquiries over the summer, especially with kids out of school and that access to lunches not as available, breakfast and lunch not as available. So just the 211 number. And then there's also resources online to look for available food banks where you can pick up food every day if needed. Thank you.
Thank you, Darsha. And thank you to the various board members who did the food bank.
Yes. Can I
Yes,
add something
question?
with the,
Question for Darsha? Darsha?
yeah.
Okay,
Well,
go ahead.
and just something announcement I want to make. On August 12th, I have a movie. I don't know if everybody knows. I directed a movie. It came out. We had our premiere at Ward Theaters on August 12th. My movie is about homelessness in Hawaii. And we had about 100 people and my cast. And we plan on doing a public premiere sometime in the fall. And if not, because we're in line now with the Consolidated Theaters to promote homeless awareness. And I want to work closely with Darsha and members on this board. And I'm trying to get the movie here in Mililani for all of us to go see. So I just want to throw that in there. And I will keep everybody posted on that.
What's the movie's name?
It's called Rocking in Paradise, and it's about the homeless situation during the pandemic. And at the very end, well, I don't want to ruin the whole movie, but we had a good
No spoilers.
we had a good turnout. We had a 101.5 DJ down there with us, and he was promoting it on the radio and all of that. So we're going to have the big public premiere coming up in the fall, and I'm very proud of this, and mainly because I want to promote the homeless awareness in our state of Hawaii. So I will keep all the board members, in the loop of this, and then we're going to have the public premiere, and I would like all of you and our representatives to come see the film.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to Parks and Recreation and the Patsy T. Mink Central Oahu Regional Park Committee. Sabrina.
No report.
No report. And Marilyn for Education.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, I don't have a very long report for the Education Committee, but school has started, and please come to the homecoming parade because they put a lot of work into it. I got a nice report from Principal Kardash at Mililani Uka. He's always very happy to let us know what he's doing. And they had a Japanese student exchange on Tuesday, August 20th, and they had 37 students and 5 staff members from Shitanoji Elementary School located in Osaka, Japan. And the purpose was to initiate a relationship between our 2 schools. And I think this is really important that we do have things like this in our public schools. And so I'm really proud of Mililani Uka. They're also starting up some new clubs this school year: cross country, Japanese culture club, garden club, and newspaper club. So that's from Mililani Uka. And Jamil Duarte, principal of Kipapa Elementary School, sent a nice report, including pictures, which you can have. I think I sent it to you, Danielle. At Kipapa, they are prioritizing their 3 areas of focus: care relationships, systems of support, and closing the achievement gap. And that's something that as a Title I school, that's still a concern for them. And the custodial, cafe, tech, and office staff have been hard at work all summer to prepare for the coming school year. And they want to know that they're important and we should be appreciative of them as well. The community partnerships for school supplies that is done by Kipapa Elementary is probably a lot more than any of the other schools in our Mililani district. But and because it is a Title I school, it's really needed. And there was a great deal of help from the community. And then the Kipapa mural was actually needed repair, and it was finally fixed by the State Foundation on Culture and Arts. And when it was begun, and it was a big job, and it's something that I think needs maintenance over the years. And then Janelle wanted to also thank the Boy Scouts for completing community service projects for the school and actually providing 3 new trash cans. So she thanks us all for our support. So that's all I have today, and thank you very much.
That's awesome, Marilyn. Thank you so much. Okay, that will complete our reports of chairs and board committees. As promised, I deferred action of the election of officers so we could deal with all of those new business issues in front of us. So we're going to go back for the election of officers and confirmation of board details. Item B, meeting date, time, and location and format. Members, we have historically met on the 4th Wednesday of each month, with exception to the recesses we've decided. So I'd like to keep that date the same every 4th Wednesday of the month. I'd like to, by a show of hands, if that's okay, just to expedite things. I recall that there was some discussion last year of a 7 p.m. begin time versus a 7:30 start time. So I'm willing to circle back at that if people would like to. We have I do want to thank, by the way, the city NCO office, the city and county of Honolulu, as well as Principal Fred Murphy in Mililani High School for working so around the clock to confirm this term's location here at Mililani High School and H building. The contract was signed today. So I really just want to applaud the efforts of the NCO office as well as Mililani High School, who's waived certain costs and is a big partner in this for us. So I would like to move that our meeting dates stay the same, fourth Wednesday of the month at Mililani High School. Any discussion?
Is it okay if I have another person do the motion?
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to put a motion to keep the date as the fourth Wednesday of every month.
Thank you.
Discussion? That motion is approved.
The vote.
You want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
go ahead.
All in favor for keeping everything the same, say aye.
Well, wait, not the times.
Oh, the date. So what was?
At Mililani High School.
Oh, you're just doing the,
We're just doing that.
oh, okay. So for now, the motion is to keep it for the fourth Wednesday at Mililani High School. Okay, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any of those opposed say nay. Okay, any abstention? Okay, and then that's with all the board members
Okay.
voting for that. Thank you.
I'd like to poll the members. Is that all right? I'd like to poll them by by hands. By raising your hand. If you would prefer a 7 p.m. start time, please raise your hand. I'm trying really hard to keep our board meetings short, guys. Any votes online? Keep your hands raised for 7 p.m.
Okay, so I see Kurumi and Elise for yes. Okay, so the yeses, I got that. Any nays?
Okay, please raise your hand if you would prefer it to stay at 7:30.
So I have one. Oh, wow.
This is just a basic polling. I don't want to go through all these formalities of votes. That's why. All right, looks like people want 7:30.
Okay, so with that, I had 9 for 7 and then 7:30, 10.
Okay, all right. 7:30 start time.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that our start time. Oh,
Okay, so moved by Mary and seconded by.
I second.
Okay. Okay, so start time at 7:30, and let's do a vote for you, right? For your record, right?
Wanna do hands again?
Whatever's easier, Rachel, at this point.
Okay. I like the voice vote.
You want the voice vote?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna roll call vote, 7:30 p.m.
Oh, I don't have to do the whole name thing.
Oh, you just want to do aye?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it. Voice vote.
Okay, if you're in favor for 7:30, say aye.
aye.
Okay, and any of those opposed, say nay. So like 3. Okay. Abstentions.
I abstain. Gustafson.
That's the fun. Okay.
All right.
Abstain. Okay, and then since
so
I had
that's
to,
Go ahead.
well, for sure, this passed, for 7:30, but I need to know who said the nays now since this.
Our new guy.
Okay, Rana. And Mike. Okay, thank you. I got it.
All right. Okay, so we will keep the same meeting dates of fourth Wednesday of the month, 7:30, location here, Mililani High School H building. Okay, so B has been addressed. We're gonna move on to C, determination of recess schedule. Members, we have up to 3 per year. Remember, the year starts in July and ends in June. We've already used one recess, which is July. Okay, so we got 2 more. Historically, we've adopted July and December as our recess month. If you would like, we can also adopt November. That was a contentious issue last year, as I recall. Okay, so I will, okay, so motion to adopt our normal times, our normal recess dates for December and July.
I motion for July, November, and December.
Well, he made the motion. I can't make it according to this one. Is there a second to July, November, and December
Second.
recesses? Seconded by, was that Sharon?
Yes.
Okay. Moved by Ross, seconded by Williams. Okay, discussion on July, November, December. Any discussion, members? Or do you want to just vote on this?
Well, it's, yeah, discussion.
Discussion, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that's two
Go ahead.
months off is a long time.
Yep.
So I mean, there's a lot of things that need to be done. So
Okay.
we should still have July and December, not November.
Okay, I see Darsha has her hand up. Go ahead, Darsha.
I got my hand too, yeah.
It was my understanding that we were not allowed to take 2 consecutive months off.
Yep, she is right. She is right.
You should have stopped Ross's motion there. All right, so then it's invalid. We can just, no, then we just disregard the motion. Your motion is out of conformity.
Out of order.
Your motion is
Okay,
out of
then I would like to motion for July, December, and April. Out 3 months.
Is there a second? Seconded by Smart. Discussion on July, December, April, recess date, recess funds. A month.
That seems like 2 months is already, long to be off because we got a lot of stuff happening in the district. So I agree.
Okay.
The April break
Okay.
too.
All right. Any other discussion on recess months of July, December, April? Gustafson has her hand up online. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I don't know why we're including July in the discussion. I thought that was already done. So we're just picking 2 other dates.
We're just making sure we're very clear in our, and we're being just very clear in this routine. Since technically, last
So
year
then-
we voted on this year's work.
Right. So then technically our July recess was not valid. Then if that is what you're saying, that we have to vote again.
Ratifying that the July was intended to be a recess.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we're just voting to clarify that July was like an intentional recess. It was not that the meeting was canceled for other reasons.
So for clarification, then we should have 2 motions. Motion number 1 is that we recess in July, end of motion, because that already happened and that was true. And then second motion is what are our 2 other dates?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I have a question. Is the July actually going to be for 2025?
Well,
No,
this
because
is, I think this has been the trouble, right? Is
Yeah,
we've
right.
historically have always taken July off, right? We can move that to August because we convene the board in July with new officers and new members. So every year we're going to circulate, and this has been past practice for decades of the previous year's board making an action for the next year's agenda.
And that caused
So-
a problem this year because we had to do our candidate forum so early because we were off in July. So I would say we don't set the agenda for next year's board at all, and we just move forward with 2 other options for our period, which is July to June.
Okay. Okay. So, hey Lloyd, I see that you're online. Care to jump in here?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, technically you should not vote for next July because that is not your term. Your term ends in June. So if your term ends in June, you really should not make a decision for the next board.
Yes. Okay. That has been a very firm, NCO has had that position for years. So this is a frustrating item for them. Okay. Members, let's consider a motion here for December and April.
I have to amend my motion.
Yes.
I amend my motion for December and April.
Okay. All right. We've had a lot of discussion for the recess months being December and April. So let's just do a vote on that. If the board would like to adopt recess months of this board to be December 2024 and April 2024, 25, excuse me, thank you. Please, let's go ahead and do a voice vote, Rachel. We're in the vote now. We're in the vote now. No, I said we've had enough discussion.
We didn't discuss it.
No, we were discussing, no, we were discussing it. There were 3 months offered. Then there was discussion of July not being valid. So we've been in discussion of the 3 months. Now it has been amended to 2 months. So I've closed discussion. We're going into a voice vote for December 2024 recess and April 2025 recess. Go ahead, Rachel.
Okay, so we'll take the vote for recess for December and April 2024. Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and those opposed say nay. That sounds like what, 2?
No, this is just there was discussion.
And then any abstention?
Chair abstains.
So just want to double check. There was
Mark abstains.
2 abstains now. Okay, 2 abstains. And
Okay.
then, yeah, I think I saw 3 for nay, right? 3. Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, we've determined the recess months. And in terms of adoption, oral testimony rules, these are provided at the beginning of our agenda from the NCO. This is the boilerplate. Would someone like to make a motion to adopt this boilerplate language as oral testimony rules? Any motion?
I move to adopt it.
Okay, moved by
Second.
Sabrina, seconded by Ross. Discussion on these rules? Seeing no discussion and hearing no discussion, we're going into a voice vote. Rachel.
All in favor to keep the adoption of oral testimony rules the same, please say aye.
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 And then any of those opposed say nay. And any abstention? Okay, so with that, we'll have that adoption of oral testimony rules remain the same. Thank you.
All right, a lot of work to do tonight. Okay, thank you, members. It's 9:13. We're gonna move into elected official reports. I received notice, sorry. We're gonna see, first up, Congressman Case, Nestor Garcia, on behalf of Congressman Case. Is Nestor available online tonight? Nope, seeing none, moving along. I received communication from Tony Schwartz, who's the governor's representative. She is unavailable tonight. She did offer if there are any board members who have questions for the state, for the governor's office, to please ask them. Rachel can write them down and transmit to Tony via email. So are there any questions to Tony, even though she's unavailable tonight? Please raise your hand if there's a question. Emil.
Just clarification. Election Commission, is that under governor's jurisdiction or is it just legislative issue?
I don't know. I believe it's a state commission. I don't know whose jurisdiction it is.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions for governor's rep? Okay. Oh, there is a county ethics commission as well. Okay. Seeing that there's no questions for state, city, and county, I would like to defer this to be at the end of the elected officials' reports so that we can go through the rest of the elected officials in a timely manner. So with that, I'd like to recognize Councilmember Okimoto.
Thank you. Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the board, both in person and online, and members of the community. Councilmember Val Aquino Okimoto here from District 8. All of you should have received my written report, and you guys got the pleasure of seeing me at the end of the month past due. However, I did want to highlight a few things that were in the newsletter and then just cover some things that have transpired since this was printed. Some of you may have noticed or recognized that in the news earlier in the month, I believe, or was it the end of last month, we now have an ocean safety department. So that was something that the council had spent some time with and working with the mayor's administration team. And we now have an acting chief, or I guess department head for the ocean safety. And currently it's acting chief Kurt Lager. And they've been doing, a fine job. Today that we saw that they had a new tower erected at is it Kailua Beach, Tracy? I think it's Kailua Beach, yes. Some other fun things from the district. Every month we get to do honorary certificates at the Honolulu Hale during our full council meetings. And so it's always a pleasure to recognize people in the community. Mililani always has a strong showing. So that this past month, actually this was in June or the end of July, I think. It was in July. Cherry Blossom Court was recognized by my office, and there were residents there from Mililani who were part of the court. And I think even in previous years, they have been in strong support. They were recognized also. This past month in July, we actually held 2 certificates, and one of them was the Mililani High School softball team, and with recognizing them for their state championship. So that was a real pleasure to include them. We've, like I mentioned before, we have a strong Mililani community support. So if you have anybody that would like to be recognized that you think is worthy of it, please let us know. We've been doing a lot of sports teams because I like sports, and Mililani has a strong showing. But if you know of a business member, anybody from the board, really reach out to me. We reach out to other parts of the community and want to recognize those of you who have been serving the community or have done exemplary things for us and just representing District 8. I think that was it for the newsletter portion, but I want to cover some things that weren't in the newsletter. You heard from Ashley this evening, and I'm going to thank the mayor's team as well as the Department of Parks and Recreation for working so diligently. It is nice to see that we are, going to be getting these lights put into the skate park. And it really was a membership working with the private sector, our community members, and then us on the government side. And it transpired from one of the mayor's town halls. And so I really would like to encourage members that when we're looking for projects for the community, it was a great example of how we can come together. And I'm thankful Ashley had to leave, but working with the community members and private entities really helps to expedite the process for us. And so we're looking forward to that. We did hear a lot of talk about the hockey rink. That actually, we're still working on that with the mayor's administrative team. I have met with his chief of staff, and we're still working with the Parks Department. That project will not be as, unfortunately, will not be as quick as the skate park lights, but we are working with them, and we did budget an amount for that. I can't remember the exact amount, but I know that in the budget for this fiscal year, I did put in a request for that. I think there's logistically things that we have to work through. So I will continue to give you updates regarding that. I know that Kathleen Pahinue was not here from BWS, but this morning, I received text messages from her, and I'm really grateful for the communication that I get from them. So this morning, there was a water main break that happened off Mililani Avenue. So we were able to get information. Thankfully, the Board of Water Supply worked diligently and they were able to restore that. It was a 4-inch versus a 12-inch break. So that made it quicker or more feasible for them to address. And they were able to restore the water service there and keep everybody safe. Hopefully it didn't affect too much of the traffic, but just so that you know that I am thankful for the Board of Water and all that they do and for they contact me and my office does as best of a job as we can with the information to get the information out. So if you haven't been following my social media page, please do so. It's on the newsletter. A lot of the information that we give there, we give things that are happening in the district, but also we try to give updates that are occurring as quickly as we can. I want to put a plug for inside your newsletter. There is a flyer for an upcoming community town hall. So quarterly, working with the other part of the district that I represent, the IAEA and Pearl City area, I work with those in the state and city legislature, and we do a town hall. This quarter is the responsibility of both myself and Councilmember Cordero. So we have invited, it's going to be a transportation-based town hall, and we have invited DOT and DTS. So this is this transpired because I really felt after the bus shortage last year that we wanted to make sure that as a new school year started, we would get the information out. And we actually had this plan before we found out that the buses stopped and then have started again. So I'm inviting everybody, even though this is a part of the district that's out of Mililani, because we will have state and city departments there, I would really encourage anybody, parents, principals, you as the board to come and ask those questions because it does impact our areas relating to the bus transportation. Last night in another town hall in Pearl City, there was concerns about speeding around the school. So any kind of concerns you might have that's transportation related, please feel free to join us. And it will be on September 11 at Pearl Ridge Elementary School from 6:30 to 8 p.m. If you have any questions, you can contact me. We do have our full council coming up on September 4th, but just so that you know that our previous council that was held I think it was July 5th, there were some measures that we did pass. I did hear board member Among mentioned his homeless video to pass through committee. It'll go back to the full council and floor, and that's a measure that both myself and Councilmember Wire co-introduced, and it transpired really because we had people from the communities coming to us and saying they wanted to know how they could support with the homeless issue. And the state and the city both have departments and they both have heads who run this, but this resolution, actually, it's resolution 24-198. It's a homelessness advisory board, and this actually is specifically to advise the council on things that we can do to address homelessness in our districts. And the way that we crafted it, so there will be 9 members of this advisory board, and each council member actually will have a choice to select somebody. It can be from their physical district, or it could be somebody just in the community. And we're looking for a variety, even somebody who may have at some point been homeless, but definitely working with the private sector. I've noticed since I've been in this position that lots of times government does its best, but the outside, the private sector and even philanthropical church groups have found really great success in addressing the homeless issue. So if you have somebody in mind, please feel free to contact me. You can contact other council members, but this will be a 9-person board. It does have to go back to the full council on September 4th. And really quickly, I did have another kupuna measure that was passed. The mayor signed it, but we have one measure coming up that I introduced because of the challenges that we have with e-bikes. So my office did an amazing job getting research. So right now, resolution 24-199 is going to go in front of the full council on September 4th as well. I would really appreciate it if you guys in your capacities or as residents could submit testimony before the September 4th council, because any type of support to show the concerns that we have in the community for e-bikes. This resolution will is to turn back to get the state to classify e-bikes. There's 3 classes. And so the resolution explains it all, but there are 7 under the be it resolved of what we're looking for to encourage the state to help us out. Because right now enforcement is the issue. And until we can classify these specific bicycles correctly, there's not much that HPD can do. So please, if you feel inclined, please submit testimony. And if you can be online or in person that day, I would really appreciate it. And last but not least, I did want to put a plug in as board member Kim mentioned that this is now hurricane season. I'm going to date myself. I'm from Kauai. I was there during that hurricane. I lived through it. So please be diligent. And if you have any questions or concerns, I know Chair Bass mentioned the things that we can do to be prepared, but we will be posting some things on our social media as well. But we've been here on this island long enough. So just if you can help your neighbors out and make sure that in Mililani we're taking care of ourselves. Other than that, I will gladly take questions.
Members, any questions for Councilmember Okimoto?
Yeah.
Yes, Member Among, followed by Member Spurgeon.
Yeah, Val, I really would like to work with the homeless community. I'm willing to donate my movie to a homeless awareness event. In fact, I was talking to Rick Blangiardi about doing something down the line, and we agreed that we'd probably be doing it. So it would be wonderful if I could work with you on that, possibly get it rolling.
Thank you. And I will say that I'm not sure who's going to make the board yet, but please email me. Please submit testimony before the September 4th full council. That would be really helpful.
Thank you so much for
you.
organizing the community town hall. Is it going to be in person only?
I believe it is in person only. There will be cameras there to broadcast it, but it's not going to be. I don't think we're taking testimonies or questions online. It'll
Nobody can watch it. I mean, nobody can watch it online. It has to be present.
I believe so. That's how the past ones have been, but I can double check. I'm just based off of the last two that we've done. It's been in person.
Of HART or DOT or DTS, are they confirmed or?
Yes.
Is it they did. So
Yes.
they will show up for sure.
They should be there. That's unless something happens, but they will send a representative if whoever was originally scheduled can't be there.
Any further questions for Councilmember Okimoto?
It's been a pleasure serving you guys so far.
Just
so
as
thank
a
you.
friendly reminder for anyone who would like to submit testimony per council member's request, our board took no action on that issue. So it is not in a formal way in our capacities, but you can mention in your testimony you are a member of this board, but the board took no action. Okay. Thank you, Councilmember.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, folks, it's 9:27.
And Chair.
We have about, I wanted to stress, we have about 6 more presentations prior to going back to the mayor's rep. So please, members, let's limit, and members of the offices, please let's limit these reports to 2 minutes per the agenda action item. Rachel.
Yes. So I want to go back to the resolution for the park extension hours. So I did count everybody in person, but I need to double check with the people online. So the people that I missed for the vote, when I call you, can I just get your vote? Josie, this is for if you approve for the 10 p.m. resolution. So Josie.
I'm sorry, is that a yes? You're asking if I want the 10 p.m.?
Yeah, so I missed the people that were online for their voting for the resolution for the park extension hours.
I said no.
No, okay. And then Kurumi?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And then Elise? Is Elise there? Okay. Rodney?
No.
Okay, so with that, I have 17 yes, and then it was 2 for no.
Okay, we're back on. Thank you, Rachel, for that clarification. On elected official reports, members of the offices, please limit your report to 2 minutes if at all possible. Next up, we have Kelly Anaya from Council Member Matt Wyer's office.
Aloha Chair, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Aloha Chair and members of the board, I'm Kelly Anaya from Councilmember Matt Wyer's office. My report should be brief because Councilmember Okimoto pretty much covered all of what I was going to mention, but to reiterate, please make sure that your hurricane emergency kits, your property and your emergency plans are all updated. Councilmember also wanted to remind everyone about the upcoming property tax deadlines. September 1st is a deadline for filing dedication petitions, and September 30th is the deadline for filing credits and exemption forms. Lastly, Councilmember did co-introduce Bill 45, which would increase the combined income for property owners to $100,000. Currently, it's at $80,000. Like Councilmember Okimoto mentioned, excuse me, the next council meeting will be next week, Wednesday, September 4th. So please be sure to get in your testimony if you want to support that measure. And also to touch upon Councilmember Okimoto's e-bike legislation, Councilmember Wire is also getting a lot of I guess, concerns and, complaints, et cetera. So we did draft a flyer and, I'm not sure if everyone knows, but no one under the age of 15 should be operating an electric bike. Anyone under the age of 16 should be wearing safety equipment. And lastly, e-bikes need to be registered. There's a $30 one-time fee that can be done at the Satellite City Hall or the State Business Registration Unit. That's all for me. If anyone has any questions for Councilmember, I can take them back. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. That was 1 minute. Excellent job. Members, any questions for Councilmember Wyer's office? Okay, seeing and hearing none. You're off the hook.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you.
Guys, have a great night.
Is there a representative here from Senator Michelle Kidani's office? Ah, Trevor, you're going to stay within the 2 minutes, right?
Okay, good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, members of the public. My name is Trevor Nagamine. I'm here on behalf of Senator Michelle Kidani tonight. So just a couple brief highlights from her newsletter. First, as you may have heard, Department of Education did suspend several school bus routes within Mililani. However, most of those routes have been restored. And additionally, students are also eligible to obtain a whole card with student bus pass through the department. And so we're fortunate in that there's a decent amount of city bus service that's available within Mililani. So for example, you have the 501 that runs from Mauka to Town Center and the 504, which runs from by the Safeway up to Town Center. Other than that, I'd be happy to take any questions.
Okay, I see Sabrina has a question online. Go ahead, Sabrina.
Yes.
Yes, a couple of months ago, the senator presented her, I guess, low income housing assistance program for teachers and how they were going to build some housing at Mililani in Mililani, Waiena. And the project seemed really good. She said it would be like a couple of bungalows. But the projections that I'm seeing coming out most recently say they're going to put 109 homes on the corner of Mehe'ula and Lani Kuhana, where the current agriculture land is. And that seems like a real hoodwink to the community that they're going to be putting in 109 homes under the guise that it's affordable housing for teachers. The current projected rent for those housing is at most $3,800 for a 2-bedroom unit. That is not affordable. It is being run by a private entity for the next 65 years. Seems like a developer just got in under the guise that they're going to give teachers homes. And when teachers can't afford those homes because they are not low income, they're going to be able to rent them out to people other than low income teachers and staff. I'm very concerned about this project and the fact that 109 individuals will be living on a very busy corner where people run the red light all the time. Please have the senator address this at the next meeting.
I'm sorry, so your concerns are the size of the project and the rents that are being charged, is that correct?
Correct. The size of the
Okay.
project, 109 homes, 109 units. Now, as we all know, more than one person can live in a unit, so it could be more than 109 people living on the corner of Mehe'ula and Lani Kuhana. Where will they park? Where will their vehicles go? And that they're estimating the projected estimated low income rent for the project 1 to 2 bedroom homes starts at 1900 and goes up to 3400. That is not low income rentals. That's ridiculous.
Okay. Thank you, Sabrina. That was very enlightening, and we will look forward to the senator's response next month.
Yes.
Are there any other questions for Senator Kidani's office? Okay, seeing none. Thank you so much, Trevor. Looks like you got some homework.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, is a representative here for Senator Donovan Dela Cruz's office?
Yes, hi, online.
Hi, please go ahead.
Yeah, Malachi Burrows on behalf of Senator Donovan Dela Cruz. Few things to report to the board. First, actually, is regarding that teacher housing project. I did hear those concerns, and I wrote those down about the size and occupancy of the units, and then the rents that are being proposed. I do believe that there are certain, I guess, restrictions on how the state can restrict, certain demographics from living in the housing. So I don't think there could be an all out, ban on anyone other than teachers living in the housing. So I don't think they can exclude certain demographics. But there is an ability for the state to, make certain kind of thresholds or filters so that we can prioritize teachers living in the housing. As for the rents being charged, I can take that back to the office and look into that as well. But just some background on the project itself. The agency overseeing the project for the housing is School Facilities Authority, SFA. The total budgeted amount or appropriated amount from 2023 was 170 million. This was cut down to 50 million through vetoes by the governor, and was further reduced to 5 million for the project, with funds being directed to Maui for the wildfire. So they're looking at a public-private partnership to finance the rest of the project. And SFA has requested best and final offers from 4 applicants for the project, and the contract should be awarded in September, I believe.
Why?
Quick update on some legislation from during session. Just want to highlight the biosecurity bill that was passed, HB 2619. Originally about $20 million for biosecurity, cut down through vetoes by the governor to about 10 million. Still a pretty historic amount of money going to Department of Agriculture for biosecurity. And a good chunk of money going specifically for the CRB, coconut rhinoceros beetle, and little fire ant response, because I know that's a big one.
Okay.
Yeah, if that's my time, I'll bow out. I was going to talk about the school bus shortages, but I think Trevor covered some of that as well.
All right. I mean, unless someone wants to direct a question, thank you, Malachi. Members, any questions for Senator Dela Cruz's office? I see that Sabrina has her hand up. Go ahead, Sabrina.
Thank you. Yes, that private-public partnership is the one I'm most concerned about, because it does seem like the private sector is taking a loophole to put in housing in Mililani that they know is not going to be affordable for their demographic, and they'll be able to rent it out to whoever they want to. So please have the senator address that and the number of units that is going to be involved. Thank you.
Will do.
Thank you.
Sabrina.
Are there any further questions for Senator Dela Cruz's office? Emil, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Would you please ask Senator about the update for his rapid response actions from last year about the coconut rhinoceros beetle? I'm missing those maps, which, Alex was presenting us with, which were getting increasingly yellow, meaning the infestation was increasing dramatically. I currently contacted one of the companies which are trying to make a profit out of it already. They charge $175 per tree, guarantee for 1 year. But, because it's not are getting rain infested all the time, and each beetle can have up to 50 eggs. So, you are talking exponential effect on the entire island. And, I'm really worried that we're going to lose all the palm trees, which are such a landscape, phenomena for us, for our island nation. So if he can provide us with update with his rapid response, where it ended, or if it continues somewhere, but, we on the ground see massive increase of those bugs. I yield.
Thank you. Okay, I see that there are two more questions for Senator Della, or two more hands raised. Folks, let's keep them brief questions. Go ahead, Ann, followed by
I'm going to be
Dennis.
real short. I just want to agree with what Member Gustafson said. This is a chronic concern. The developers are using the loophole, which is affordable housing is based on median price of homes, which in Hawaii is the highest in the country. So that needs to be addressed and changed. I'm very disappointed that that's what's happening with this teacher housing project. That's it.
Okay, looking forward for some exciting follow-up on that. Dennis, question.
Just a clarification. The intersection of Lani Kuhana and Mehiula Parkway, is that where Ruby Tuesday is? They're going to knock that down and build up, or where is
No,
that
it's
located?
across the street. So Ruby Tuesday would be on one corner, the church would be on one corner, a private house would be on the other, and they're building where that ag is, where the brand new Mililani High School sign is. That corner where that ag farm is where the private teacher housing would be, and it's a 3-story, 109 complex building.
So where the farm is?
Correct.
Yes.
Where the
Part of
farm
the
is.
school, where the farm is. Okay.
Okay. All right. Any other questions for Senator Dela Cruz's office? I see Member Ka'anehe. Okay, folks, we need some order here. I know there's a lot of discussion. Member Ka'anehe, you have a question for Senator Dela Cruz's office?
Thank you. I concur with Ann Fried and Sabrina Gustafson. So Dela Cruz's office, I'd like you to address it also because it was pretty much sold to us. It was going to be for teachers. Thank you.
Any final questions for Senator Dela Cruz's office? Seeing and hearing none, thank you so much. Malachi, lots of homework and follow-up for that. Next up, we got Representative Amy Pruso. Friendly reminder to presenters, 2 minutes in your report. Welcome, Representative Pruso. You're muted. We are having challenges hearing you, Representative. Go ahead.
Do we want to have Amy maybe like sign off, come back on, but we can skip onto the other ones?
Okay, Rep Pruso, why don't you log off and we'll go ahead with Rep Matsumoto and then we'll come back to you. Rep
Okay,
Matsumoto.
I'm here. Sorry I don't have my screen on. I have 2 sick children with me tonight, but wanted to be able to give the report. That's been sent and hopefully can be sent to the entire board. The biggest highlight, there was a lot of things with bill signings. The Hula May bill that I've been talking to you all about was signed along with several of the Women's Legislative Caucus bills, and there was a bill signing ceremony for that. And then also a lot of community events. There was a graffiti cleanup and a dedication of the Mehiula Vista, as well as we were able to speak with the student councils of the Complex Leadership Workshop. But the main thing I wanted to get through is we had the condo insurance town hall meeting, and we've been getting call after call about the condo insurance issue. And so if you weren't able to make that town hall, if you go to repmatsumoto.com, we have the entire recording available for whoever would like to watch it. We also have the emergency proclamation that the governor put out on the condo insurance issue. That information is also on repmatsumoto.com. As soon as you go there, there's a pop-up. So it makes it really easy to find. And whenever we get updated information, we've been putting it there. So recognizing we've had a lot of people that have had issues with this condo insurance. And so kind of being able to put a one-stop shop on our website of all the information we're getting. So that's the main point for my report tonight. To go check that out on repmatsumoto.com. But with that, I will end my report with the time.
Thank you so much, Representative Matsumoto. In 1 minute, awesome job. Members, are there any questions for Representative Matsumoto? Seeing none, thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank
We'll
you. Look
check out
forward to
that
seeing you
website.
next month.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
And all right, Rep Peruso, I see you're back online. You want to try again? No, we can't hear you. Okay. You can write your, I see that you wrote in the chat. Would you like me to announce that for you? Okay. Representative Peruso is having some audio difficulties. She's written in the chat an issue in terms of coconut rhinoceros beetle to visit a Google form website at https:// or forms.gle/k2nzes5cxwxduk2 to announce a good government forum, which is occurring tomorrow, date August 29th from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. And there's a Zoom link attached at tinyurl.com/goodgovernmenthigh. It's short for Hawaii. Any other announcements you'd like to share, Representative Peruso? Any questions for Representative Peruso, folks? Emil.
Can it be posted in a minutes or somewhere in a chat so we can,
It's
is
in the chat.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Any other questions for Representative Peruso? Okay, seeing none, thank you so much, Representative Peruso. Next up, we have Representative Trish LaChica. I see Aaron Conway is online.
Aloha, Chair. Can you hear me?
Hey. Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll keep it short with you guys tonight. I'm Erin Conway here on behalf of Representative LaChica. We have been actively addressing the canceled school bus route concerns. We've been collaborating with Governor Green as well as coordinating the recent August 15th Education Committee info briefing. We will continue to work with the department and keep you updated with any progress on this. Just to let you all know, the Board of Education will be hosting a hearing on school buses Thursday, August 29th, 1:30 p.m. and they will be accepting testimony, just to let you all know. We're also working on the graffiti issue on Camp Highway, as well as working with HDOT to clear the bulk items being dumped by Kipapa Gulch. Lastly, we are revisiting the issue of school meals that came out of Mililani High School. And if anybody would like to work with our office on that, we would love your help. So that's all. Thank you for your time. And if anyone has questions for the representative, I'm happy to take them back there.
Members, any questions for Representative LaChica's office? Seeing none, thank you so much, Erin.
Perfect. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Awesome. Okay, folks, we're gonna circle back to Mayor Rick Blangiardi's Tracy. Come on down. She's running. Thank you,
Good
Tracy.
evening, Tracy Kubota, Mayor Rick Blangiardi's representative. Yes, Bass. Congratulations, you guys. Welcome to a full board. Okay, here we go. Save the best for last. So just to respond to prior meetings questions, there was one about the trees being removed or switched to smaller trees on Kamehameha Highway, Lanikuahana Ave, heading to Maka'imama Street. Underground roots are currently penetrating the concrete. Repaving the road by the city will only lead to a recurrence of the problem within 3 to 4 years. So just want to provide the response from Department of Parks and Recreation, Division of Urban Forestry, which we call DUF. So I'm just going to say it as DUF, okay? They're committed to keeping Oahu cool by planting, maintaining trees throughout our communities. Trees perform important environmental functions in life. It is the city's goal to preserve as many trees as possible. However, trees that are dead, dying, diseased, or damaged may be removed for public safety. Upon completion of their inspection, DUF arborists did not find any condition that would compromise the tree's health or stability. Therefore, the tree removal is not warranted at this time. DUF will collaborate with the Department of Facility Maintenance Division of Road Maintenance, the division responsible for repairing the city's roadways. Once DFM determines the curb and gutter and/or pavement repairs are required, then DOF will then perform any necessary root pruning and take other measures to mitigate the uplift during the root growth. So that's that response. Garbage truck shortages. When can we anticipate the garbage trucks being repaired? Due to shortages, the community expressed concern that trash wasn't being collected as they were unaware of delays. Department of Environmental Services is working with DFM to prioritize repair of refuse trucks in order to limit collection delays as much as possible. In the event that refuse or recycling is not collected on the scheduled day, please make sure you leave it out at the curb and it will be collected in the next 1 or 2 days as soon as resources become available. ENB is also working with its truck vendors to get new trucks on the island as soon as possible. There's a nationwide delay in refuse trucks manufacturing that began during the COVID-19 pandemic and continues to impact the industry today. It normally takes 12 to 18 months to receive a new truck from the date it is ordered, but that process is currently taking 3 more years. We'll be getting new garbage trucks on island before the end of the year, and we're scheduled to get more than a dozen trucks next year. This information was communicated to the public via press release back in February and also received some media coverage. ENB apologizes for any delays, but please note that they are working as quickly as possible to resolve the truck shortage collections. Okay, now on to, I'm not going to read the questions again, the 3 questions that Chair Bass had provided with respect to Mr. Tom Berg's requests for DPP to respond to. So I have a response from DPP and I'll read it a little slower since you guys can observe this a little bit. And this is prior to where you folks have now mentioned that you guys are appealing the NOO. So I'm just kind of giving where DPP led to today. So DPP says, first, the city apologizes to the board for the bombardment of emails from former Councilmember Tom Berg. We at the city are also receiving the relentless emails with baseless and potentially libelous accusations. Having said that, DPP is proactive in its enforcement of the building and electrical codes and land use ordinance as they pertain to the golf course. Since 2017, the DPP has issued 17 notices of violation NOVs to golf course owner Guy Fong and companies that have conducted unpermitted activities at the golf course. These violations include operating a rave concert on the course, doing illegal construction and grading, placing shipping containers on the property, allowing people to occupy these containers, storing equipment not related to the agricultural work on the property, and constructing modular buildings without a permit. The DPP also issued 9 notices of order, NOOs, and assessed thousands of dollars in fines. Mr. Berg's biggest complaint is with the Malca Warriors luau that operates at the golf course. He claims that DPP has not taken any action to halt this operation. He is wrong. In May 2024, the DPP issued an NOV to the luau operator and ordered it to stop conducting the luau's. The luau operator pleaded with the city saying that they were actively looking for an alternate site for the luau and were concerned that for their staff that they would be affected by a shutdown. However, months had passed and that the law continues to operate and the DPP new site is being sought. The DPP earlier issued a notice of order, NOO, on July 29 and assessed a $1,000 fine. The law operator has until August 29 to pay the fine and correct the violation or face daily fines of $1,000. If the illegal activity continues, they may take further action such as placing a lien on the property and placing an attachment to the party's motor vehicle registration and driver's license, meaning they will not be able to renew any of the vehicles until the violations are resolved and fines are paid. As the board can see, the DPP is not turning its back on the community and has actively been seeking compliance with the building and electrical codes and land use ordinance at the golf course. They will continue to pursue all legal actions to halt these activities and return the golf course to its original purpose to be used consistent with the codes and ordinances under DPP's jurisdiction. So that's the response that I received. Anything or any questions to take back?
Members, any questions for Tracy? Les.
Yeah, Trace. There's 2 other golf courses that want to do events too, and they're getting ready to apply. One is a Mililani golf course. I spoke with Dennis down there one day, and he was saying that they had movies at this certain area. He doesn't know if it's agriculture or off agriculture. He's trying to find out now from DPP. And the other one is Hawaii Prince, who was had their weddings shut down because of a wedding trellis or some kind of setup that they had. So they're both looking at doing events and trying to align themselves so they can do events like the hula show, and but legally, so they're trying to they're going to be filing to try and do some events coming up. So if you can keep us posted on what's happening with DPP, I would appreciate that. And maybe possibly down the line, the chair would probably put it on new business, and maybe we can get people to come down from the golf courses, whoever, and maybe the chair wants to move in that direction if they seem like they want to make a statement to the board on behalf of doing their events. There is 5 golf courses in the agriculture land, 5 of them. So we can't go in it tonight in the interest of time. So we'll connect with you, and if you can get some information from DPP on your end, that'd be fantastic.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't usually advocate for these types of things. They would need to go to DPP directly to explain their business and their petition for whatever information.
Absolutely.
Because I don't really have details. That's not really the role of, unless you have a specific question based on something that is in need of interpretation.
Yeah.
I would suggest private landowner go to DPP for consultation and advice, and they proceed legally as, like you said, they would like to.
They're proceeding now, and they're kind of looking into it. And the last event that they got shut down was some kind of a kids crafts fair where they were doing some kind of a fundraiser for the elementary school kids or something like that in Mililani. And they don't plan on doing any big productions or anything like that, or building anything big. It's just a community vendors event. And on the footprint, they would just pull it out at the end of the day. It's really simple, but they're going to go apply with the DPP.
So we'll leave it to that. So the question I guess I have is, what is the question that you have for me? Because I'm not going to advocate on their behalf.
Yeah. If you can, I'll just leave you with this. Can just continue to keep us informed with DPP on your end of whatever comes about.
With respect to
to what's happening.
Their application.
All of the above, I guess.
No,
whatever you can share with us.
If you don't give me a specific question for me to ask of them, there's really, I'm not going to blanket by saying, can you in the process for golfers activities.
Okay, well,
I mean,
the application will be fine for now. I thought that we could follow up on this.
Well,
What's
can you let
happening
me
in
know
the
after
agriculture
they
land.
apply and if they do have a cog in the wheel for a process question?
Yeah.
Because if not, I'm going to defer to the landowner to take that up as a private matter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Okay, if
And
there's any questions, I'll just follow up with you.
All right, yes. Okay.
And with the board members.
Thank you.
Thanks for your information,
Thank
Mahalo.
you. Appreciate that.
Okay, any other questions for City and County of Honolulu? And the reminder is 9:57.
I know, that would be me.
And go ahead, question for City and County.
I will do my best. I'm sorry about all this, but this is too important. So I'd like to draw everyone's attention to an article written by Sybil Beat dated September 29, 2021. Here's the headline. Years before indictments, Honolulu permitting department was warned about corrupt culture. And then when I look up Tom Berg, I find out that through an unreputable source, he's wanting to put a marijuana grow site on that land. I would like to know
what's your question?
So I'm getting to it. I would like to know what's really going on in general. So that's for the chair. For you, Tracy, I would like to know, what is the mayor doing to address this culture of corruption that's been reported repeatedly?
This is the mayor's report. So Tracy, the question was directed to you.
So can you repeat? You want to know what is being done about the culture of corruption with respect
to the culture of corruption in which several people have already been indicted for bribery within DPP.
Okay, wait, so that's in general, you want to know what is mayor doing about the culture of corruption in DPP?
Yes.
With respect to the bribery situation?
With respect to any kind of corruption, but yes, the reported bribery specifically.
I'm not sure how to word. Okay, well, I can put it.
You got the question?
I mean, I'll put the question in, but I think it's kind of vague because it's going to be saying, if it's specific to the DPP bribery situation, I think the verdict had already been determined through the investigations. But if you are talking about other non-determined corruption, I'm not sure if you're wanting to just specifically state there's others in DPP. So I just want to make sure I target it to the right area of what you're trying to ask.
Okay. What I'm saying is that these people are the tip of the iceberg. We had our own experiences with the Coal Ridge project. is the mayor looking into and putting some kind of safeguards around HP where this does not happen? It is not happening now, this luau situation.
So, okay, I'll word it as, are any safeguards being implemented to
that's good.
prevent future corruption?
That's good.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Any further questions for the mayor's office? I see Sabrina has your hand up. Go ahead, Sabrina. It is 10 o'clock.
Hi, Tracy. I got a couple of things I'm going to email you about, but my main concern is I was using the mayor's new 311 app, and I don't seem to be getting any responses on that. If you could give us a presentation next time about what the chain of events that's supposed to be happening with the app, when you submit something, what's the next step after that? How long should you be waiting? That kind of thing. That'd be appreciated.
Okay, so in lieu of a question, I'll ask for a presentation and then you can follow up with them on any issues you might have at that time. Is that okay?
Yep, that's great. Thanks.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Remind me of that. Okay. Any other questions for the mayor's office? Going once, going twice. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, we're in announcements. Our next board meeting will be scheduled Wednesday, September 25th, 7:30 here, Mililani High School H building. And you can tune in to all of our actions on Olelo Channel 49 every second Thursday and Olelo Channel 54 every first and third Saturday at 9 a.m. It is 10:01 and this neighborhood board is adjourned. Thank you. That's why I just want to